We're back on Wilshire Boulevard in an area called Museum Row. The former May Company building is being transformed into the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. The giant sphere features the David Geffen Theater and a rooftop terrace. The Peterson Auto Museum has over 100 vehicles on display and features a private vault for the remaining half of the collection. Urban Light by Chris Burden has become a popular landmark. Many of the restored street lamps once lit the streets of Southern California. Here at the La Brea Tar Pits, scientists have uncovered one of the largest collections of Ice Age fossils in the world. Methane gas escapes from the tar pits, causing bubbles that make the water and asphalt appear to boil. Of the 250 museums in the LA area, there are two standouts: the Broad, located downtown, and the Getty Center in Brentwood, well known for its architecture, gardens, and great views of Los Angeles. The little-known neighborhood of Hancock Park is a hidden gem. The area went from this to this to this. Developed in the 1920s, the neighborhood features architecturally distinctive homes. The developers wanted to remind people of the English countryside, so you'll see a lot of brick and Tudor-style homes. The area also features some beautiful apartment buildings. Ravenswood, built by Paramount Pictures, was eventually owned by Mae West, where she lived in the penthouse for 50 years.
When I'm good, I'm very good. But when I'm bad, I'm better.
When Gary Marshall created Happy Days, he needed to find a home that looked like it would be in the Midwest. Just a few blocks from Paramount Pictures, he found this one, and the rest is history. We're back on Melrose, and the building in front of us was once RKO Pictures, where they filmed the original King Kong. Later, it became Desilu, where Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz produced the first season of Star Trek. Now, the entire 65-acre property is Paramount Pictures, which was founded in 1912 and is the only remaining major studio in Hollywood. Their most successful motion picture was Titanic in 1997, which grossed over $2 billion worldwide. Directly behind Paramount Pictures is the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. They used to say that Paramount would work you to death and then throw you over the wall. You may notice that many of the headstones have pictures of the deceased, quite uncommon in the US.
That's all, folks.
Hollywood Forever is the final resting place of Rudolph Valentino, Judy Garland, Cecil B. DeMille, Chris Cornell, just to name a few. On the left is Sunset Bronson Studios, which was the original Warner Brothers Studios. That's where the first talking feature, The Jazz Singer, was filmed. Originally a long-term apartment house called Chateau Elysée, where stars such as Bette Davis, Cary Grant, Ginger Rogers once called it home. It is now owned by the Church of Scientology and known as the Celebrity Center. At last, the Hollywood sign. Erected in 1923, it originally read Hollywood Land to promote a new housing development and was only supposed to stand for 18 months. After the rise of American cinema in Los Angeles, the sign became an internationally recognized symbol and is likely the most famous sign in the world. In 1978, Hugh Hefner started a public campaign to replace the sign with a more permanent structure. Each letter stands 45 feet tall and about 35 feet wide. Just on the other side of this peak, called Mount Lee, is the San Fernando Valley. Burbank is one of the 5 cities located in the valley and is home to both Warner Brothers and Disney Studios. Another scenic spot in the hills is the Mulholland Dam, which forms the Hollywood Reservoir. One last ride in the hills on our way to Hollywood. Universal Studios is one of the oldest studios in Los Angeles. Their backlot tour is the signature attraction at the park and goes into working film studios. You'll see sets used in Psycho, Back to the Future, and War of the Worlds. One of the best places to spend an evening is at the Hollywood Bowl. Officially opened in 1922 and seats almost 18,000 people. The Beach Boys, Lady Gaga, Cher, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and countless others have performed at the Hollywood Bowl. As we drive down Hollywood Boulevard, we'll pass some iconic buildings often used in movies. The Capitol Records Building, Musso and Frank's, which is the oldest restaurant in Hollywood, Here we are at the intersection of Hollywood and Highland, a very popular tourist destination which attracts close to 10 million people every year. It is also the location of the Dolby Theater, home to the Academy Awards. The transformation for the Oscars starts about a week before the ceremony, which garners a worldwide audience. The El Capitan is a movie palace owned by the Walt Disney Company and serves as the venue for the majority of Disney premieres. And directly next door is the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Grauman's Chinese Theater is perhaps the most famous of our movie palaces. The theater opened in 1927 with the premiere of Cecil B. DeMille's The King of Kings. Movie stars are chosen by a special committee to imprint their hand and footprints in the forecourt of the theater. The very first imprints were Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks. There are close to 2,700 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. To get a star, you need to be nominated, have at least 5 years of experience in the category you're nominated in, and there is a fee of $50,000 to pay for the creation, installation, and upkeep. Next time on the third and final episode, we'll check out the Sunset Strip and cruise the celebrity neighborhoods of Beverly Hills and Bel Air.